District 2 will now include the state's capital, home to several military installations, numerous historically significant events, and 7 or 8 higher education institutions. How would you leverage Montgomery, one county of 13, in prioritizing district needs?
So I said it at the last opportunity we had to do this in the runoff. Montgomery's different. And I mean that because this is a place that America owes so much. There are 2 cities in this district that have a different level of historical significance to this country, Montgomery and Tuskegee. But since you asked the question about Montgomery, I'll focus on Montgomery. When the rest of the country, when the rest of this world, when they stood by and they were too scared, we might be lynched, we might be jailed, we might be beaten, we might lose our job, we might have our home blown up. It was the people of Montgomery that stood up and said, no, enough is enough. It was the people of Montgomery that led the greatest social movement that the world has ever seen. It was the people of Montgomery that made America look in the mirror and ask itself that question that Dr. King resonated with. It says, how do we make America be true to what it said on paper? That was Montgomery. Montgomery is the reason that we have seen many of the freedoms that we love to hold ourselves out as being symbolic for across the world. Montgomery is the reason that happened. Montgomery is something that you cannot quantify into words, what it meant to this nation, what it meant to this world. We have a collective obligation as a country to make sure Montgomery's status remains at the top and is put at the top, is placed at the top in terms of priorities and making sure that this community, that this city, that this county has the resources it needs to make it the most economically viable, to make it the most economically vibrant place that it can possibly be. Because Montgomery did that for this country. Montgomery was there for America, and America must be there for Montgomery. And I will be there in Congress to make sure that Washington does not forget that.
Thank you. Caroline.
I'm proud to be raising my family here in Montgomery, and if I have the opportunity to represent the people of District 2, I will continue to raise my family here in Montgomery. I have a vested interest in ensuring that this community thrives and becomes all that it can be. I'm so grateful to the Chamber for all that it does to bring opportunity to this area. And whether it's Maxwell Gunner, whether it's the Air National Guard, whether it's the legacy of the Civil Rights Movement, whether it's the new Whitewater Park, we have to fight to ensure that this community is thriving. That means ensuring that we bring more businesses here, that we get our economy back on track, that we support the inland rail extension of the Port of Mobile. That will alleviate the need for about 250,000 18-wheelers from I-65. That is so vital to ensuring the continued growth and the intermodal capabilities of not just Montgomery, but the state. But when it comes to Montgomery, I will also fight for solutions to the education crisis that we have here and the rising crime. I will work with local and state leaders to ensure that we have the funding, but that we also have the policies that foster addressing these needs in our communities. We've all seen a rise of crime here in Montgomery. We have too much to offer the world to be counting the number of gunshots that we hear on a weekly basis. And I will fight to ensure that we're not only supporting the industry drivers, but that we are supporting every single family and ensuring that regardless of zip code in this city, that every young person and every child in this city has the opportunity to pursue a 21st century job to keep this city growing.